probably doesn't remember this anymore, she's over there, but at High Sierra Music Festival in California, this was in 2006, I think, and I believe that her and her husband, Tim Bluhm, I don't know if they had been hanging out that long at that point, but I think it was still really fresh. Although, my mind is clouded because what I remember mostly about High Sierra 2006 was that the Backyard Tire Fire drummer drank a bottle of brown liquor and pissed off the local police, and then he wasn't anywhere to be found the next morning when it was time for us to play our set. And we stood around and we stood around and we twiddled our thumbs, and eventually he came through and hit a big knob on his head, and he was angry because he said he was shoved and he broke his glasses. But we got to set it, and that's I guess that's the crux of the story there, is we finished that one. Oh, thank you, sir. A gentleman and a scholar. So, but this has nothing to do with anything I'm about to play. But all kind of came full circle, and Nicki started writing tunes with Tim, and they got things going, and they got these van sessions happening, and I'm just really, I guess, honored to be out here with Tim and Nicki and the Gramblers as they kind of kick ass around the country. I don't know, I think this might be their first kind of big, long 7-week tour. And I'll tell you what, folks, they were tight last night, and I expect nothing less tonight. This is a song about a street kid from Portland, Oregon, who makes his way down the West Coast by stealing cars and robbing banks. This is a fictitious tale. It's called Bums in the Sun. Well, the winter was long and the winter was cold, and this shivering was starting to get old. I was looking to leave, get anywhere but here. I was out, I was starting to fold. Well, I'd find me a palm tree and follow that coast, ride right out into the sea. I'd sail to a place where no one knows my face, drink whiskey and forget about me. So I stole me a car, but I couldn't get far. Had no money to throw in a tank. I put my thumb in the air, I didn't have a care. Hell, I might even rob me a bank. And I was dumped off in Frisco and slept by the bay. So me and my bag and my gun, it was cold that night, it was hot the next day. When I woke up with the bums in the sun, when I woke up with the bums in the sun. Well, I live on the street, you know, I've been on my own, so I found me some food from a can. Hey, I pondered the day and how long I'd stay. I kept moving and stole me a van. Well, my ears got hot when I pulled in that light. You know, my eyes fixed right on that bank. Hey, I handed a note, I put a gun to her throat, and then I walked out with 10 grand and change. So I did it again the next day in LA, where it was hot in the blistering sun. Well, I was anything but cold, I was feeling quite bold. Hell, this was starting to get fun. And I was dumped off in Frisco and slept by the bay. So me and my bag and my gun, it was cold that night, it was hot the next day. When I woke up with the bums in the sun, when I woke up with the bums in the sun. running and I was making mistakes. I thought Mexico could make me feel free, so I stopped in for gas, wiped the sweat from my ass, and then I went out back to take me a pee. Well, they kicked in the door and I fell to the floor, and a man stomped his foot on my neck. Yeah, he put me to bed, just one shot to the head, and now I ain't ever getting back. And I was dumped off in Frisco and slept by the bay. So me and my bag and my gun, it was cold that night, it was hot the next day, when I woke up with the bums in the sun. When I woke up with the bums, I was dumped off in Frisco, slapped by the bay. So me and my bag and my gun, it was cold that night, it was hot the next day, when I woke up with the bums in the sun. When I woke up with the bums in the sun. When I woke up with the bums in the sun. Thank you so much. I'm going to do one more for you. My name is Edward Anderson. I've got CDs and all kinds of stuff back there.